some of these stunning, swoon-worthy interior design trends all over Pinterest and Instagram and been a little bit green with envy? Well, what if I told you that some of these popular interior design trends could be total disasters if you actually live with them for a little while? Today, we're diving into 7 popular design trends that fail in real life. My name's Carrie, a designer here at Penny Modern, and I've done the research for you from top publications like Architectural Digest, as well as websites like Realtor.com, and even safety organization like the National Fire Protection Association. You're getting the most reliable design advice. And make sure you stay around till the end because you're going to want to weigh in on number 7. It could be one of the biggest design fails of all time, and it's going to be extremely controversial given how popular this mega home trend is right now. But first, we're going to talk about a finish that is used in almost every luxury kitchen that you're seeing in magazines and online today, and that is marble countertops and backsplash. We are seeing this beautiful marble with these deep, dark veins in it all over the place, from countertops to backsplashes. I've even seen it used as a hood vent cover or kind of an overlay over a hood vent. I think it's almost getting overplayed, but it is very beautiful and it makes your kitchen look super luxurious and high-end. But here is the real deal. If you cook a lot and actually use your kitchen, unlike a lot of these celebrities and rich people that have these luxury kitchens featured in magazines, they actually don't cook a lot of the time, or they have a private chef, or maybe they have several homes, that they use. So if you actually cook a lot, there is going to be a problem with marble, and that is it can stain and etch very easily. So that is something that you want to consider. It definitely requires cleaning up spills immediately, especially if you spill anything that's a darker color or even anything greasy that can sink into the marble because it is more porous than other natural stone. So that is something to watch out for. You also have to perform maintenance on it and seal it probably a couple times a year. And if you don't maintain it and seal it, you can get even more staining. The other kicker is, even if you seal it, it still might stain. Something to try instead would be, if you love that look, you always could get a quartz that is made and manufactured to look like marble, and that is going to be much more durable and stain resistant. The other option is they actually have porcelain in large slabs now that again is manufactured to look like marble. That is another secret hack, and that is going to be much more stain resistant and more durable in terms of once it is actually installed, it's going to be great in terms of stain resistance. If you absolutely love marble, consider just using it as a backsplash, like a tiled backsplash, or maybe using it on a piece that's not going to be used as a countertop for an everyday. Maybe get a marble tray. So that is another way that you could use marble, but it's not going to get stained as much as a countertop. And if you're new around here, my name's Carrie. I'm a self-taught interior designer and owner of the blog Penny Modern that's been bringing you affordable modern home decor since 2019. Next, we're going to move to furniture, and specifically white furniture, and specifically upholstered white furniture. So this is something that people love to use. You see it all over design magazines and Instagram, people having those beautiful white couches because it just contrasts so beautifully with pretty much any other color you use in your home, especially in that beige earth tones. Having that lighter color as a couch or chairs or dining chairs, it really pops and adds an element of contrast. It adds a clean feeling as well as a bright and airy feeling to a room. However, the one problem that I have with white furniture is that if you have kids or pets, it's really going to create some issues. White upholstery can show pretty much any stain, any scuff, any little footprint from your little one's feet on it almost immediately. And if you like drinking coffee or wine on the couch, you have to constantly be worried about drops staining your beautiful white sofa or even on your dining chairs, right? And I know when I have my nieces and nephews over, especially for any kind of party where there's chocolate cake or any kind of chocolate, they almost always get little crumbs and little smudges all over my beautiful white dining chairs. I had white fabric dining chairs for a very long time. And even though they were washable, they really never got very bright white because of all the stains from all the little kids that I had in my house. It was a total bummer. What can you do instead of getting that all white couch? You can choose some different colors. So you could do a light beige, a light gray, more earth tones, more neutral colors. And you can just figure out a way to, maybe you have white wall paint and then use a different color for your couch or your dining chairs, and just try to incorporate white in other ways in your room. You could do white curtains or very light curtains if you really want to get that easy breezy, airy feeling. You also can get things like performance fabric. So if you get a custom couch or you go somewhere and have a custom dining chairs made, maybe it's a higher end store, you can get stain resistant and performance fabrics that are going to be more stain resistant. So if you get that light white color or cream color, it's going to be a little bit more stain resistant. The other thing that you can do that I do recommend is using Scotchgard, which is a spray that does have some chemicals and stuff in it. You put it out, do it outside at least, and you can use Scotchgard, and that will actually help repel stains. So especially if you get liquids on, it'll help it come off really easy. I'd love to know what you think about getting a white couch or white dining chairs. Would you do it? Do you have it? Have you had success? Let me know down in the comments below your thoughts. I had those white dining chairs and they got very dingy after a while, and they showed a lot of fingerprints and smudges on them. And I don't think I'll ever have white dining chairs again, but I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comments. Next up, we're on the topic of furniture still, and this is going to be a certain style of furniture. Have you ever seen in Architectural Digest or maybe on some Instagram photos, some celebrity homes that have very low to the ground coffee tables or even couches? It looks extremely sleek, extremely modern, and definitely very unique. But here is the problem. So if you are walking around, especially in a dimly lit room or something, and the coffee table is right at shin height, what do you think is going to happen to your shin? You're going to be running into this coffee table and getting hit with your shin, or maybe your kid's going to trip over it, or you live with elderly people. Like I take care of my mom and she does have a disability. Having this really low to the ground coffee table can be something that people trip over. Architectural Digest even is cited as saying that low slung furniture often sacrifices ergonomics for aesthetics. So that can create issues for people with mobility issues, like it's hard to get up from a very low slung couch or chair. It's difficult to actually get out of it. And that is definitely a problem if you're prioritizing form over function. The other thing that can be really tricky with this low slung furniture is sometimes you may unknowingly buy it. So if you're buying furniture online, and this has definitely happened to me, I bought actually this coffee table back here. It didn't come with any legs on it. And when I bought it, it was so low to the ground, it was almost impractical. It was a joke. And I was like, I wish I had looked at the product dimensions before I hit the buy button. And so that is my advice. If you ever buy anything online, make sure you look at the dimensions of it and actually get out a ruler and make sure it's tall enough and wide enough for whatever use you have planned for it. My recommendation is definitely you don't want to sacrifice function over style. So make sure that you're getting chairs that are easy to get up from. Maybe measure what your current chair is or your current couch is that you like the height of, and making sure whatever you're buying has a similar seat height that you want to have. You don't want anything too low because ergonomically it can make your body sore if you're sitting in an awkward angle, and also it can be difficult to get out of. And then especially for coffee tables, you want the top of the coffee table to be the same height as the seat of the couch or the seat that it's next to. If you're planning your own room makeover and you're looking for ideas, and that's why you're watching this video, I've got a great free gift for you. It's a free room makeover planner and checklist, and this is going to help you plan your project. It'll help you decide what you want to keep what you want to get. It'll help you build a budget, and it actually has a little spot to do a little bit of a layout. So download your copy for free today, and that's at pennymodern.com/freebies. Next up, we have a pretty interesting one, and this is around staircases. So I often see in a lot of like HGTV shows or Architectural Digest or some of these Instagram photos from celebrity designers, these floating staircases. They are ultra modern and ultra cool, and it has those stairs like they look like they're just big pieces of wood sticking out from the wall. And they don't have any railings on them though, but they do look really cool, and they're definitely a non-traditional staircase that just screams luxury. Now, if you have young children, these can definitely be terrifying, just even regular stairs. We had stairs in our old house, and my kid grew up there till he was 7 last year, and it was scary even when he was 2 or 3 or 4 going up and down the stairs, and I had to make sure I use the handrail. And that's the problem with a lot of these staircases, is that they don't have a handrail, and also kids can lose their little toys and balls through the stairs, the treads on the stairs, because they're open, right? And even pets, and especially seniors, can have a problem with these floating staircases because one wrong move and it's a trip to the ER, which nobody wants that. According to the house safety guidelines, it says that floating stairs should meet local building codes with proper handrails to avoid liability issues. So that's something to consider if you have a lot of guests over, or maybe you have help come in, that having no handrails can be an issue if somebody does fall. A couple of alternatives is to get a glass railing, so you have a piece of glass with a handrail on the top, or just making sure you have railings on the floating stairs as well. And then you also can try, if you want a more modern look to your staircase, get a traditional staircase, but do cable railings. And that way you're getting a modern, sleek look, but you're also having something that's safe and especially good for children. Next up, we're moving to the bathroom. So I had this in my old house, and it definitely gives a very sleek, modern, and it actually goes with a ton of different design styles, and that is a black faucet. Black faucets and shower heads are very modern and very cool, but there is a problem with them, and I experienced this in my last home. So one of the big problems that I had was actually if you have hard water and you get that calcium buildup or any kind of mineral buildup, it definitely shows really easily on any kind of dark or black shower head and on the faucet. And then when I tried to get it off, I used some vinegar to try to remove it. It actually took the finish off, and it was very frustrating. I will say, you get what you paid for. I did buy some lower end faucets and stuff, so maybe on the higher end ones you don't have that problem, but the finish actually started coming off. The other issue with the black faucet and black shower head, it definitely shows water spots, and it shows soap scum, and it also shows a lot of fingerprints almost instantly, so I feel like you're always cleaning them all the time. These black fixtures require a lot of maintenance in order to make sure that you don't get all the staining or mineral buildup, and so that is something that is a bit of a hassle. I would consider personally more like a brushed brass, or even a brushed nickel, or even a satin nickel or something like that, and even chrome. So again, you also get what you pay for. So even some of the metallic finishes, they're just a finish over a different material on the inside. So if you get a higher end, you're going to have something that's either like real brass that'll patina over time, and that finish isn't going to chip off. And so that is something to consider when you are buying your fixtures. But if you use some of these more metallic finishes, it's definitely going to hide smudges better. It's going to hide some of those water stains and water drops better. It won't take the finish off with it when you clean that off. Now we're going to move on to lighting. So you have seen this look where you have a very industrial, very minimalist style, and people are starting to use, or have been using for quite some time, these Edison bulbs and these light fixtures that are just a raw bulb, right? There's no shade or anything over it, or lampshade over it. Who doesn't love the look of a really warm colored Edison bulb when they can be very cool as a bathroom vanity fixture or maybe a pendant light? And here's the fail. It actually can provide just having a naked light bulb can create a lot of glare. It can create a very unflattering shadow on your face, and exposed bulbs can actually cause eye strain over time. Have you ever stood in front of a bathroom vanity that has those exposed Edison bulbs? It's actually not that flattering. And even Architectural Digest says that direct exposure to bulbs can strain your eyes over time. And so diffuse lighting can provide better comfort. So this diffuse lighting means it's behind a shade or behind a globe, like a white globe, or there's something around the bulb to diffuse the light. What should you do instead? You can use a frosted bulb. You also can use a dimmable light bulb, and then also consider having a lamp shade on your light as well that gives a lot of warmth and softness to that light. Now we have that absolutely biggest design fail that is going to be the most controversial. So I'm definitely going to hear from you about it. But first, if you want to learn how to decorate your home like a pro, but on a budget you can actually afford, hit subscribe, because that's what we're all about here at Penny Modern. This is one of the biggest design fails, and this is around those spaces that are light, bright, open, airy, and perfect if you are an entertainer and you love entertaining. And I'm talking about open concept great rooms. Having a gigantic open concept space has become all the rage, especially in new builds and major remodels that people are doing. They want to have these huge great rooms that combine living, dining, kitchen, and sometimes even an extra sitting area or family room area. And this definitely looks great. And on a lot of levels, it's really fun when you do have a party and everybody can be in the same room. And especially if you have really little kids, a lot of people say they want to be in the kitchen and they want to see their kids playing out in the other room, and they want to have those sight lines and have everything open for that reason. But here is why it is a big design fail. So the biggest one is really around lack of privacy and excessive noise, quite honestly. So once you have more than a couple people living in your house, it can become a problem, I'd say, especially when your kids are older. So remember, your kids are only little for a few years and they're older for many more years. So, are you really gonna be hearing your kid playing Fortnite with his friends in your great room for however many years kids play video games, right? So having some kind of a private area where kids can go and be kids is going to be very crucial if you have a family home. The other thing is around noise and parties. So my mother-in-law has a very large great room and she loves to host parties, but I will tell you, it gets almost overwhelmingly loud in there with the kids and the adults. They have music and the TV going, and everybody's in the kitchen as well as the living room. And it is just a cacophony of noise, and it makes your ears hurt because it gets so loud in there. And just on a daily basis, if you are living in a family home and you have your family there and you're trying to work from home and you're trying to work in your living room or your dining room and everything's open, as soon as the kids get home, they're up in your business and you have no more privacy, especially if you need to have a Zoom call or something like that. Realtor.com actually agrees with me, and they say many homeowners do regret some of their open floor plans because it's due to the noise and the challenge of not having separate functional areas. And it's also a challenge trying to define the different areas of their great room. I think if you do have a separate family room that is still a separate room, and you have a combined like kitchen, dining, living, that's probably good enough, right? Or maybe you have a family room combined with your kitchen, which is what we had in one of our homes, and a separate dining room. As long as you have a little bit of separation, at least one room where you could use that as an office, or one room where you put the kids and then go play video games, that is something that is definitely more desirable for a homeowner today, is having a lot of versatility and different options of different rooms to use for the day-to-day life. But what to do if you do have a very large open concept great room? You can use room dividers to try to divide things up. You can use area rugs or maybe even a bookcase to divide one area from the others to some degree. You also can build in partial walls to maintain flow, but adding some functionality and a little bit of separation. Let me know down in the comments. Do you think open concept has had its day and it's on the decline? Do you love it? Do you hate it? I want to know in the comments below, so let me know. And if you would like even more design trends that are on the way out in 2025, you've got to watch this next video right here, where I go over even more design trends on the way out, plus a few that are on the way in 2025. So I'll see you in the next video.